Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, I have said this several times on this channel before, but it bears repeating because it is pertinent to this particular narrative. When Buhari took over from the Shagari then civilian administration, that was the Second Republic then, when Buhari took over from the Shagari administration, Lateef Jakande was the governor of Lagos State then under that Shagari civilian dispensation. So under Jakande, Lagos experienced its most progressive period. It was a purple patch for the Lagos State evolution. So there was a lot of grand plans that Jakande had for Lagos State. You have to remember, of course, that Jakande is an Awolowo boy. In fact, they used to call him Baba Kekere, which means small daddy, which in effect means second to Awolowo back in those days. So they used to call him Baba Kekere back in those days. So during that dispensation, during the governorship of Lateef Jakande, he had a lot of progressive ideas for Lagos State, and the marquee of those progressive ideas was to build a metro system for Lagos State. So the sort of trains that you see all over the world, in London you go on the underground, in Dubai you go on their metro system, etc. So all of those plans were already in place in the early 80s for Lagos State, because of course the Jakande foresaw, and he saw the data of how rapidly Lagos State was growing at that time, and he knew then that the state would need a mass transit model to keep up with its growing population, and the metro system of course was the obvious choice. So the design, commissioning, and putting together of a metro system for Lagos State was put in place, and contractors were commissioned, international companies were commissioned to come and build that metro system for Lagos State. Contracts were agreed, fees were agreed, and deposits were paid, and construction was meant to commence when the Buhari administration took over governance from the Shagari civilian dispensation. So now immediately Buhari took over the governance of Nigeria, he immediately cancelled that metro line system that Jakande had put in place. The contractors that Jakande had commissioned, they went to court, to the international court, to sue, to the point that it cost Nigeria millions and millions of dollars to get out of that contract. Those millions of dollars Buhari willingly paid, because he was determined that there would be no metro system in Lagos State, especially when they don't even know what a car looks like in Daura, where he comes from. So that then offended him, that they should be having a metro system in Lagos State when his people are still riding on donkeys in Daura. So a vindictive man, as guys I bring you this, Jakande, stop shedding crocodile tears, Southwest PDP tells Buhari. So crocodile tears, of course, Jakande, Lateef Jakande, recently passed away. I'm sure a lot of you would have heard, age 91. So it's more a celebration of his life as well as the mourning. I'm sure his family will mourn him, but a lot of us that are admirers will celebrate his life and his achievements, especially, as I said, the first progressive governor that Lagos State had ever experienced. But of course, I've already stated the antecedents of Buhari, especially in relation to this man Jakande. But now that the man has passed away, the first tear to drop, of course, is from the Malami in Aso Rock. Again, Jakande, stop shedding crocodile tears, Southwest PDP tells Buhari. So now let's now see what is being said here. The People's Democratic Party in the Southwest Zone has asked the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, and his party, the All Progressive Congress, to stop shedding crocodile tears over the death of respected elder statesman and father of modern Lagos, Alhaji Lateef. Jakande. Buhari and APC had paid glowing tribute to Jakande, who died on Thursday at the age of 91. Jakande was former governor of Lagos State between the 1st of October 1979 and December the 31st, 1983. But the PDP in the southwest region said Buhari and the ruling party should not cry more than the bereaved. The party, in a statement titled Southwest PDP Mourns Jakande's Death, tells Buhari not to shed crocodile tears, said Buhari destroyed some of the legacies of the respected elder statesman when he was military head of state between December the 31st, 1983 and August the 27th, 1985. The statement was signed by the party's Director of Media and Publicity in the region, Lanre Olayinka. It reads, "We in the Southwest PDP mourn the passing unto glory of a real servant of the people whose footprints will remain on the sands of Lagos State forever. His death, though painful, is a fulfillment of the will of Allah, and we are confident that for his deeds whilst alive, he will be granted Al-Jannah Firdaus." So Al-Jannah Firdaus, I don't know what that means. So to do with the religion, their religion, obviously. However, it is our admonition to President Muhammadu Buhari and his APC not to shed crocodile tears over the death of Jakande. It is on record that Buhari cancelled the Lagos Metro Line network initiated by Jakande then and went ahead to pay compensation to the French company that handled it, costing Lagosians over $78 million. If not because of Buhari's 1984 act of wickedness, transport problems in Lagos would have been solved permanently. The Metro Line project would have made life easier and changed the face of transportation in Lagos. Same Buhari and his APC people are now on the rooftops eulogizing Jakande after his death. To us in the Southwest PDP, this is hypocrisy at its ridiculous peak, and it is unacceptable. The PDP in the region also sympathized with the family of the deceased and prayed to God to grant them the fortitude to bear the loss. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So they've just gone on to confirm what I said. I hadn't actually read this piece before making my opening monologue, but apparently it was a French company and it was $78 million that was paid in compensation just for the spiteful act of not having a metro system in Lagos State. Imagine that. That $78 million that was paid, dollars by the way, that was paid to that French company would have gone a long way in progressing that metro system. We're talking in the 80s now, so you can imagine what $78 million meant in the 80s. So that would have gone a long way to progressing, if not even completing that metro system. But just out of spite and wickedness, that guy decided to cancel that metro line system for reasons that remains elusive to understanding till today. So what gain does he get from canceling a metro system in Lagos is the question. But then of course the answers lie in the fact that Mallam Buhari, as we all know, is governed by two elements, his tribe and his religion, and anything that does not sit within that sits outside of that, and anything that sits outside of that has to be gunned down. So I often say in my video that Mallam Buhari's system essentially and wholly is a Yamutu system, and it holds an AK-47 to everything. So this is a classic example right there that makes the point that I am making with that AK-47 analogy. So this is him now holding an AK-47 to a metro system that would have eased, if not solved entirely, the transportation system within Lagos State, which is the most populous state within not only Nigeria but Africa. A mass transit system that the time was overdue at that time. The measures were being put in place to have it installed, but this highly wicked individual who only thinks not beyond, who only thinks exclusively within that binary loop of his religion and his tribe, could not bear the thought, because in his own mind, you see, Lagos is Yoruba land, never mind that the Lagos metropolis is a mini Nigeria in itself, because there's an equibalence of all of the representations of Nigeria within that space. But he doesn't have that understanding. His own understanding is that Lagos State is in Yoruba land, and they want to spend all of this money to get a good transportation system for himself, and these people are still riding on donkeys. So AK-47 the whole project. So he gunned down that project as he guns down everything. Now suddenly when the man dies, Jakande that is, now suddenly when the man dies, the first tear to shed is the tears of Buhari. Come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. Crocodile tears is how the PDP are describing it, and I cannot think of a better way to describe it. Can you? Come tell me all about it in the comment section. But before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, Mallam Buhari has been on this game that is on now for a long time. This divide and rule along tribal lines, and the Jakande example is one of the countless examples that we can cite. Can you cite an example of Mallam Buhari's tribalism? Come share them in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation up with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.